you a charging cable?
No, he's done it. It's just my iPad. I thought my iPad was fully charged, but what do you do with this fucking brand?
Did I not get it? Oh, is it moving?
Oh, you're on the piss. It's your fucking T-Moose back.
Doing up the logo for the speaker high, I think.
Oh, is this your Mets thing?
Yeah.
Are you in on it as a business or not?
Yeah, well, I'm advising them, but I'm not like financially or responsible.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's going to need help on the technical side of things.
Yeah.
I'm getting Wade to help when I'm not there. So.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa. Yeah. Because I said you can't just put it into a venue lens, plug it in and push go. I said,
You need to tune it and like
tune it around the venue.
Yeah.
I was like, we've done some tuning with this car audio in the past, but nothing on this.
So
You don't tune it right, you fucking blow them up as well.
Yeah.
So.
That's nice.
What's this?
It's flannel jacket.
Oh, you the flannel?
Yeah, I'm not taking it off.
I've got a couple of flannels as well. I
I
like the flannel.
Alright, how do we...
I'm getting quiet, it's all nervous now.
Oh, is it recording?
Yeah, well, we're recording, yeah.
I'm going to blow the arse out of this kangaroo.
Has anyone blown up one of these yet?
No.
I need to watch Cassie do it. She nearly faints every time.
Exactly.
Is it a wrist?
I've lost.
You're actually hard to let down. Did you hear me at Binary Finery where I was taking them down like live on the stage and I was just like laying on top of it while everyone's watching.
Oh no, they're not non-return valves.
I feel accomplished.
Yep.
Yeah. Just don't know where we're going to put them.
Should hang them.
I know, shouldn't we? Because if we put them on here...
No, it'll take you another 2 hours to move.
Oh, no, you can't say.
Like typical pulse out. We get there a week before.
How's that?
That's not too bad.
Yeah, there we go. You gonna lead?
I don't know what to say.
Who's gonna lead?
I don't know what to say.
What's the purpose of this podcast? Why did you drag me out of my nice warm home?
Have you seen the weather outside?
Yeah.
Because we have to have a purpose for being here.
Well, it was my idea. I got us here.
Yeah.
So,
So off you go, fellas. That's not clipping when we laugh, is it? I don't know if anyone's seen that.
I didn't even check.
nah,
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I think it's still a laugh.
Just got them all on. Just got them all on high.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're
Yeah, all good.
We can fix it up anyway if it is.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for that. Well, thanks for watching.
The best representation of Yangebeats.
Yeah. The organisation is exceptional.
Well, listen, I mean, I guess a good place to start, Paul, is why Yangebeats
Actually, I get asked that question too from people. Where's that name come from?
or Yangebeats.
Yangebeats.
Is often mispronounced.
Well, Craig and I were sat outside in the garden around the table, which we've all been round.
Is this PG?
I was going to say, is this PG?
Where are we going with this?
Because Chris has been around there by himself.
I can't remember how the conversation started, but I remember it was like we had all the equipment, multiple equipment, and we just wasn't mixing. So then, in our sort of state, we were like, how are we going to start mixing? So obviously the easiest option was just to set up the decks and have a mix. So we were like, no, we're not going to keep ourselves accountable for it.
Yeah.
So he said, well, we have to come up with a name, and then we'll just start, streaming it or recording it. So, so I think I reached out to Geffen, because I think Geffen had just started like streaming and stuff. And I was just sort of said, oh mate, can you show us how to stream? Now, the two names, so obviously I think Craig came up with the first name, which is You'll Never Duff Alone. So like a bit like You'll Never Walk Alone.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah. So, and I was like, it's all right, but I don't think it's catchy enough. And I was thinking, I feel like it should be something to do with Yangebup. And then I just went, Yangebeats. And we were like, great. And then from that point, we were really, really excited. Like, we still haven't done anything. We hadn't had a mix. We hadn't done anything. We were just excited that we'd come up with a name and that we might be able to stream it. And then, we just sort of like, I think I took a couple of weeks to learn from Geffen. And then we just thought, well, we'll just start off with a podcast. That was literally the first thing.
Just before COVID, eh?
Yeah, it was January. I think January 2020.
That's right. Kicked off,
I remember Craig on the decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, during the whole lockdown thing, I remember like, well, there's no events, there's no music, and naturally all the DJs around the world started to be like, well, we'll just do streams. I mean, I remember Juff used to do like a weekly stream, and it was a great place for everyone to sort of meet online and chat and stuff. And then the first podcast stream happened.
Yeah.
And
which actually had my mum on it. My mum was on it.
So it's got February 2020. So we really had just gone into lockdown.
Proper,
Yeah.
So what? Obviously, you talked about it with Craig in January, and then I guess COVID in a way forced your hand.
Oh, amazing.
Because you can't go anywhere. There's no events.
Yeah.
You've got some decks and stuff set up at home.
Yeah.
And what better time to start streaming?
Yeah. Like, I remember the first, because we went on something called BandLab first, which Craig was like, surely there's something better than that. And I was like, well, that's all I found, so let's just go on to BandLab. And the viewing numbers are pretty poor.
Yeah.
It was like 5 or 6 people throughout the few hours.
As opposed to the 7 that we now get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Been one on since the beginning.
Yeah.
Staring at the mirror, the feelings gone within her. Tears fall. Streaming through her makeup, and when she gone.
But then what happened was, and what was quite funny is because for me, like, obviously I learned on vinyl, and then obviously Mike Naylor taught me how to sort of like mix more on like Serato.
Yeah, because you were a Serato nut, like when you, when I first met you, to the point where you were even checking. I think for the New Year's Eve party, you were trying to make Serato talk to my CDJs, but I'd not updated the firmware on it, so it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, I remember I stayed up almost till like 2 a.m, and I managed to get it going. I thought, great, I don't have to convert on my music over. And then on the actual day, it actually went wrong, I think, as well. But yeah, like I remember, like the first podcast, I think I went first, and then Craig went second. Interesting. I listened back to it the other day. Interesting song choices, track choices. But what was funny was every set there was always a mistake. There was always something that went wrong. You know what I mean? I was always thinking, oh Christ, like imagine doing this live. I don't think I even knew how to loop anything or anything like that. That was how basic I was. And like I remember on podcast 1. Craig had the crossfader turned on, and he was drinking some water, and then a little bit of water went down. He went, "Oh, I'll clean that," and he went to clean it, and he just knocked the crossfader across like that. And then every podcast there was always a different mistake. You know, like, you know, I can't remember what I did. I think I did a loop wrong and it just got stuck. You know? And I was like, how did you stop doing this?
Were you planning to stream for certain periods of time, like length, or was just we run out of music and get bored?
No, it was. I think we said like 2 hours each.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the plan was just to kickstart into playing again and just try and get that passion back. You know, I knew from when like my passion started in like '97 to 2002, it was almost like an addiction. But then I never really got back to that stage again.
I actually remember, so it was before I met you, I remember Craig was hanging out with us and doing a lot of the doofs with us. And I always remember he said, oh yeah, you gotta meet my housemate Paul. And I think we actually met at yours picking up gear to take out to one of the doofs. So I think you had like speakers that we borrowed.
Yeah, just when we say
just
gear, we mean
gear.
equipment.
Equipment, of course, equipment.
Yeah, that was Kerry's stag, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yes.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the first.
So yeah, and that was Craig was, oh, we got to get him back into mixing because obviously he said you loved your tunes.
Yeah. And so we sort of did podcast one, and then COVID happened. You know, and everyone was sort of stuck at home. So let's just set the record straight. We were the first people to start streaming like ahead of like Jurf and everyone else like that.
You saw
the trend. You said
you saw what was coming.
Yeah.
How much money have you made from streaming?
You in my car?
I remember the first stream being very sort of bare bones. So it was just you, the kitchen,
Yes.
tunes,
In the kitchen sink.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Literally.
and then the second stream, kind of, you decided to up the production values
Yes.
with lasers and lights and smoke. I mean, all of which I don't know how a crowd watching on online can appreciate.
Yeah. Well, it was more like because we had so much time. Obviously, we had like work in the week, work. So there was time. So I remember I got my mate Matt Foote, who was a carpenter, to build all these shelving units so I could have like the computers set up because we were running 2 controllers because obviously I was Toronto,
Yeah.
and then Craig was.
Oh, that's right. It was quite a wide,
Exactly,
wide setup.
Yeah. So I got him all. I got him to build it all so all the cameras would link in, and it was all set up perfectly for like the pool table. So yeah, and then obviously we added in we had fancy dress outfits and stuff like that, before because it wasn't enough just for people to hear the music. They wanted to be entertained.
Did they know? Did they? I was like,
Yeah. Well,
That was at the market research you'd got.
yes.
Poor feedback.
Yeah. That's it.
The restrictions had been lifted so you could have a certain
People over,
amount
yeah.
of people in
Yeah.
your house. And I remember, I didn't tell you I was just going to turn up, but obviously you started streaming. I was like, I'm just going to
Rock
turn
up.
up. And
Yeah.
I remember knocking on the door, and I think Craig was playing at this point. And you were like, put the Panda head on.
Yeah.
So I put the Panda head on and then went and danced behind him for a bit, and it took him ages to realise that it wasn't you.
Yeah, because it's funny because I was in front of him.
Oh.
So he looked there and went, well,
So who
who's
fuck's
this?
that?
yeah. Yeah. Because the Turbo Beats one was like probably the most memorable one because I ended up in hospital.
Yes.
With that one.
Yeah.
It was almost a sign of what Yangebeats was going to become. You know, like, because, well, just like errors and stuff like
livers
that.
packing up.
Yeah.
Medical attention.
Exactly. Because I remember vividly that I was so passionate about doing this podcast that I hadn't downloaded any music. And I remember Craig was going first, so when he played for the 2 hours, I went onto this like UK hard house site, started downloading tracks. Didn't realise that some of them were like corrupt and whatever. Didn't have a chance to play them.
Just vinyl rips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I remember I was like, oh, I'm so unprepared, like, you know, which is the number one rule for a DJ, prepare. And I remember I got on and I wasn't feeling too well, and I thought, I went on. The first maybe like half the set was like I was really enjoying it, and then all my vinyl rips just started going wrong.